Hello and welcome to this episode of the Reablement podcast, where Keep Able are talking to a range of people who have experience with reablement, and we discuss how it all comes together and why it works. I'm Alison Bella from Keep Able. In this episode, I'm continuing my discussion with the fabulous Nell Hawe from Port Macquarie. Nell has been living with younger onset Alzheimer's since 2020 and has worked in the care industry and now receives care at home that we're going to continue to talk about. So Nell, tell me how you feel about the concept of reablement in your care and what is important to you.
It is so vital to keep moving and to be active and to be healthy, but the same as keeping our social networks alive. We don't become hermits, because then we're looking at depression. Then we're going down that path. We want to keep our mind and body healthy. So reablement is so vitally important for everybody. And whatever that looks like for each and every one of us. We've got therapists, we've got counsellors, we have so many people that can help us, groups and all of those sorts of things that can help us to maintain that.
Have you got any examples of typical daily tasks where a support worker has given you the ability to thrive? They've empowered you to do something for yourself or do it in a slightly different way?
Yeah, I guess for me, for instance, in the kitchen, we purchased a cutting board that is a multi-purpose cutting board. It has spikes on it. Because I've lost a lot of strength in my hands, the prong on it, you can put the potato on it, on the prongs, and it holds the potato for me. And then with a really sharp knife, I can slice a potato. Then it has another part where you can put a slice of bread and it holds the bread, and then I can butter the bread, and it's a great device. And it's just allows me to do stuff in the kitchen without cutting myself, but still allows me to help prep food in the kitchen. And then my wheelchair, I've got an electric wheelchair. And so we go out in the community in that. But we got an attendant control on it so that when I get tired and my brain gets tired and I can't steer it anymore, I have an attendant control on the back of it so that my support workers can then take over. It allows me to be independent because at home I walk around the house, but out in the community I fatigue, and then when my brain gets too tired, it gets confused and I can't control the chair. So I have the attendant control for the support workers.
Great. And I know we've spoken before. You mentioned in one conversation we've had that, for example, if a support worker turns up and notices your mobile phone is nearly out of charge, you get quite cross if they just go and plug it in. What should they be doing?
They should ask me.
And allow you to do it for yourself.
Absolutely. Nell, your phone needs charging. Your iPad needs charging. So we have a whiteboard now, and it has a list of tasks on it. And on that list of tasks for the support workers, it has, is Nell's phone charged, watch charged, iPad charged? So they then come to me and say, Nell, how's your phone? How's your iPad? And your Apple Watch? So then I can check them, and then if they need charging, put them on charge. So they ask me the question, and then we go from there.
It's as simple as that, isn't it? It's still your responsibility, but they're doing the right thing by supporting you with that.
Correct, because I forget. And just before I came on the podcast, I looked at my Apple Watch with the support worker, and it was 17%. And it was like, oh, I need to charge my Apple Watch.
Tick for the day. What is the best way for a support worker to communicate with you? We've talked about asking you questions, but is there certain language or other things that are really helpful to you?
Clear, simple language. And I think not talking too fast. Because if you talk too fast, I simply don't get it, because words just run into each other. If you're giving instructions, you really need to give them to me now, one at a time. Sometimes I can manage two at a time, but I certainly can't manage three at a time anymore. Following a conversation is really quite hard, and following conversations in a group of people, totally gone. Totally gone. If I was having those conversations in a room of other people, that would be a disaster. A support worker's taking me to like a shopping mall would be really difficult for me. The loud noises are very difficult for me, and the busyness of the place.
Nell, what does dementia friendly mean to you? That term gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it?
Dementia friendly. That means, for me, if you're dementia friendly, you've got an understanding of dementia.
As simple as that. I thought you'd have a response like that, because I know a lot of organisations and people classify themselves as dementia friendly, but do they understand what it means?
Yeah. Yep. And it also means that you're kind. And I can tell you that some dementia-friendly organisations are none of that. That is really sad. Really, really sad. They claim to be dementia-friendly, but at the end of the day, they are not. You know, if you are dementia-friendly, you really have to understand dementia, and you want to be in it because you are passionate about dementia.
Thanks for that. Really good points there. Do the support workers who work with you also know how to support the other people in your life?
Yeah. So my support workers are pretty much a part of my family. They've been around for a long time. They've been around, one's been around for 4 years, one's been around for 2 years, and one has been around for a year. And I guess, you know, they're here for 6 to 8 hours a day, and they're really heavily involved in my care. You know, they're here for showering, and they're here for lunch and take me to appointments, and they're here for the highs, they're here for the lows, they're here for the good times, the bad times, they're here for birthdays, they're here for funerals, and they just kind of become part of your life and part of your family. So, you know, my daughter lives in New Zealand. So when I FaceTime her and my grandson, you know, they're there, and they've seen my grandson grow from a little tiny baby to a 2-year-old now. You just form a bond with your long-term support workers. And I guess that's where the relationship forms. They come to know you. They come to know your likes and your dislikes. And I think that's the consistency of care that's really important, of getting the right match of support worker and the consistency of having the same support worker. I don't believe in having the same worker every day. I have a variety of workers, but I think it's important, the longevity of your support workers is really, really important. They're sharing my journey, and in doing that, they have come to know me as a person and have come to know so much about me and my family, and so support not just me but my family, and even in my work life. We not only supported our clients, but we supported the families as well, and that was how we worked. because families were such a huge part of our clients.
And that's so important. As you said, they're coming into your home and your environment, so it's your world. They need to have that relationship as well.
Absolutely, because everything affects everybody. The dynamics of it all is so important. It's not just the one person, they may be central to it all, but they're not just the one person. We're all in it together kind of thing.
Do you find people can learn what they need to then make them a wonderful care worker for you? You mentioned the University of Tasmania MOOCs, but do you think there's other resources out there that are helpful?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dementia Australia have some amazing resources. Forward with Dementia is a great website as well. There are some amazing, amazing resources out there. But I don't believe that resources is just the only way to learn about dementia. On-the-job experience with a variety of clients is where you are really going to pick up your experience. And do all the training in the world. But getting on the ground and working with dementia client is where you are really going to get your experience. I've worked with so many different dementia clients in my work life, and that's where I put everything that I trained and learnt into practice and learnt from all my clients. That made me the most fantastic, well-rounded worker that I believe that I was, because I just had so much experience with so many people with a disability in my work life. I believe I was a great worker because I had such wonderful experiences with so many different disabilities, from, mild cognitive impairment to Alzheimer's to Angelman syndrome to younger onset dementia to childhood dementia to Sanfilippo, which is childhood dementia, Down syndrome, autism. There was just so many, and I was passionate about disabilities, and I just thrived. It was my world, and I just loved it. So a great disability support worker is someone who is on the ground, getting their hands dirty, getting experience and getting training at the same time. And you need to continue your training. You can never stop training.
So many topics that the training is available in, even understanding brain changes and then how to respond and support in different situations. It's so fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got Parkinson's disease. You've got MS. You've got, there is just so many. The brain is responsible for so many. It's incredible.
You've beaten me to the punch on one of my other questions, which was going to be, there's so many supports out there now, such as Dementia Australia, Dementia Support Australia. Have you used or are you aware of some of the tools that Dementia Australia have created over the years, like the app or the artificial intelligence character?
Yes, there's Eddie and there's Talking with Annie.
Yes.
And their VR is very good as well. Yes, I've used all of those. As a member of the Dementia Australia Advisory Committee, at one of our meetings, we actually had all of the technology devices from Dementia Australia, and they were fantastic. I did Talking with Eddie, and he didn't want to have a shower, so I had to get Eddie to have a shower. So it was fantastic. It was really, really good.
It's great technology, isn't it? I think I tested one of the first versions of that. I think it was Talking with Ted back then. They may have changed the name.
Talking with Ted,
Same scenario, and I was getting upset with myself that I was upsetting him. It was so realistic.
I know. He doesn't want to have a shower.
But it's great strategies that they've got. It teaches you the different ways to adapt in those situations and still be supportive.
Yes. Yeah, no. Talking with Ted, that's it.
Is there anything you would like to say about the stigma of dementia?
There is a big one for people with younger onset dementia especially. So one of the big ones that I had was that I was in a shop with one of my support workers. I was having trouble getting my words out. And the girl at the cash register was getting impatient with me. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I've got dementia. I said, and I'm just having a bit of trouble. Oh, she said, so have I. And because I'm used to people saying that to me, I said, no, I really do have dementia. And she looked at me like I was joking again. And my support worker was with me. And she said, no, she really does have dementia. And then she just looked and continued doing what she was doing, like almost embarrassed. But I have numerous stories like that where people think you're joking. So I ended up getting a badge that says, please be patient, I have dementia. And when I go shopping, I just wear it so that people really realise that, yeah, I have, that I really do have dementia. Because I guess at 50, people think, I look like I had dementia.
And again, it comes down to the knowledge, and we've been talking about the importance of support workers, etc., doing some learning and getting an understanding of dementia. But it needs to be more widespread than that, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And, you don't look like you've got dementia.
What does it look like?
Well, I don't know. Should I have 10 heads or should I be drooling? What should I look like? What does someone with dementia look like? People think people with dementia, it's a memory thing. It's all about memory, which we know dementia isn't just about memory. It's just about educating people. But you're still quite capable of doing so many things. You're not incapacitated straight away. And, different people decline at different rates, and different types of dementia are very different. Some people retain their memory. I'm losing my memory quite quickly with Alzheimer's. But, you ask me anything to do with my work life and it's still all retained in there. But ask me what I did yesterday and I couldn't tell you.
Have you got any other examples of where people in your life or support workers have empowered you with something?
So I have difficulty getting dressed. My support workers will assist me. So they'll hold my clothes out in front and then I can put my arms in to my shirts. And for my pants, because I have trouble bending, they will just put my legs in and then I'll just pull up my trousers. So I can still do it, but I just need assistance. So little things like that, I've had to accept help, which I've found really difficult because, of course, I'm a very independent person. It's been hard, the same as I now require a standby assist in the bathroom for showering because I do need some support to have a shower. But I can still have a shower independently. And, that's really important for me to still be able to have a shower independently. Admittedly, I have to have a shower chair, but at least I can still independently shower. And I guess those small changes I've come to accept, but it still allows for my independence. You just can't be pig-headed, can you? You have to accept some small changes. As you decline, you've just got to accept it. And I think it's about acceptance of change, going, well, hey, I can still be independent if I accept that change.
And by continuing to try and do as much as you can for yourself, it's keeping some of those capabilities.
Yes.
Have you had to have a lot of adaptation to your environment?
I'm about to get a new bathroom to allow for support workers to be able to assist me in the shower because my bathroom's a little small. I can see in the near future that will be necessary. So that will be something that's about to happen. But my house is quite open plan. And so far it is going really, really well. When I had my knee replacement just recently, I had to use a Serostedi, fitted fine. So we didn't have any issues. So the girls are really great in empowering me to do things. So when I've got to do my exercises, I have balance exercises. The girls are great in empowering me to do the exercises and encourage me to, get up and do them, and 3 to go, 2 to go, 1 to go. So they're really good. I have a back brace that I wear for my shoulder. They're really great to remind me to just ensure that I'm empowered to be who I want to be and to continue to be as independent as I can and as much as I want to be. On a bad day, obviously, that differs, and they judge that.
Do you use any assistive devices in the bathroom or the bedroom?
I use assistive devices all through the house. I have a tab timer for my medication, 9 in the morning and 9 at night. The tab timer beeps and turns because it locks your medication away, and it beeps for up to half an hour until you tip out the medication. Amazing device, highly recommend it. So I have that. So if the girls aren't here, I can do that because it alerts me. I have a Eufy video doorbell with camera so I can see who's at the front door. Also have a Eufy smart door lock. So it's a fingerprint device. So the girls come and go using a fingerprint. It also has a keypad so they can come and go via that. We have Google Home, so all the lights come on and off at set times within the house, so I don't have to worry about turning lights on and off. I have a Memorabell, and that reminds me to drink water, take medication. It's an amazing piece of equipment. It also orientates me to the day, the time, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening.
Lots of great gadgets.
Lots. We have lots in the house, and of course I have my Apple Watch, which has falls detection. Yeah, I have. Oh, and I have my motion sensor night lights that come on because, of course, with dementia, you get up at all hours of the night because I could be awake for 24 to 48 hours. So, yeah, it's nice to have those on. So we have lots here, and I find them, extremely helpful.
What a brilliant conversation, and thank you so much, Nell, for being here and sharing all of that with us. For our listeners, please visit our website at keepable.com.au to access all of our free resources and information on reablement.